All right, I'll shoot straight with you. I used to poke fun at the 10mm crowd, figured it was just a boomer's answer to a midlife crisis. Too much recoil, pricey ammo, and most of the pistols looked like props from an old monster movie. But I'll tell you what I was wrong, flat wrong. This past year, I've spent real time behind the trigger with a bunch of these rigs. And let me say, the new wave of 10mm pistols, they're legit. We're talking tactical-ready setups, carry-friendly builds, and optics-ready workhorses that can handle the heat without flinching. So, if you're looking to launch 180 grains of pure freedom at high speed, stick around. This one's personal. So yeah, some of you might have different picks. Drop yours in the comments, and let's get into it. Let's kick things off with a pistol that just flat out looks like it walked off the set of Hard Target, the FN 510 Tactical. This is a full-size, striker-fired 10mm powerhouse with a 4.71-inch barrel and a wild capacity 15+1 with the flush mag and 22+1 with the extended. That's a whole lot of 10mm, and FN wasn't playing around. It's optics ready, comes with suppressor height night sights, a threaded barrel, and ambi controls, including the slide stop. Every bit of it feels purpose-built. Now, let's be honest, it's not small, comes in at 32 ounces unloaded, but that weight, it works in your favor. 10mm got some kick, but the 510 manages it better than most. The grip texture hits that sweet spot aggressive enough to lock you in, but not so rough it chews up your hands. I ran this thing hard on the steel range, and I'll be real, it felt like cheating. Recoil impulse is smooth, the trigger breaks clean, and I was running fast, follow-up shots without much effort. If there's a downside, it's the price runs around $899. But for what you're getting, optic ready, threaded barrel, high capacity, and built like a tank, it's worth every penny. If you're looking for a full-size, do-it-all 10mm something ready for the range, the trail, or the nightstand, the FN5 10 Tactical deserves a hard look. Coming in hot at number 9, we've got the SIG P220 XTen, the 10mm version of SIG's already proven P320 lineup. This one's sporting a 5-inch bull barrel, 15+1 capacity, and tips the scales at around 33 ounces. It's striker-fired, modular, and just like the rest of the P320 family, it comes ready to mount an optic straight from the factory. If you're already running a P320 in 9mm, this'll feel mighty familiar, just with a whole lot more boom behind it. I've been putting in range time with the XTen using a hollow sun and some hot underwood loads, and I'll tell you, it's a beast. The recoil's there, no doubt it's still 10mm, but the full-size grip and that bit of extra weight help you ride it out just fine. The X-Series grip module locks into the hand real solid, and the flat-face trigger's clean with a crisp, consistent break. It points natural, runs smooth, and eats everything I've thrown its way cheap range stuff, full pressure loads, you name it. And credit where it's due, SIG's got the recoil spring dialed in just right, which is rare in the 10mm world. Price-wise, you're looking at around $800. That puts it in the mid to upper tier, sure, but for what you're getting, top-tier ergonomics, modular design, optics cut, it's a heck of a deal. If you want a modern, hard-hitting 10mm that plays well with optics and holds its own with anything out there, the XTen ought to be on your radar. Glock finally brought their big-bore 10mm into the Gen 5 family, and I'll tell you, I'm glad they did. You get a 4.61-inch barrel, 15+1 capacity, and that trademark Glock simplicity, but now with an optics-ready slide, improved grip texture, and the updated Gen 5 trigger. It weighs in at about 30.6 ounces, just heavy enough to help tame recoil, but not so much it turns into a boat anchor on your hip. Now look, it's still a Glock. Blocky? Plain? Not going to win any beauty contests, but it works. I've dragged this one through rain, mud, gravel, you name it, and it just keeps ticking. It's like the Toyota Hilux of handguns. Might not be pretty, but it'll run when everything else quits. Shooting it feels like classic Glock. Recoil's manageable, accuracy's decent, and mags are easy to find just about anywhere. The Gen 5 upgrades help smooth out some of the rough patches from earlier versions, especially that old mushy trigger. The new one's got a cleaner break and feels more refined. My one gripe? The MOS plate system. Glock's still lagging behind companies like FN and SIG when it comes to optics mounting. But if you're throwing on a Hollow Sun or an RMR and don't mind grabbing an aftermarket plate, you'll be just fine. Price-wise, it's sitting around $620, making it one of the more affordable full-size 10 mils out there. If you're looking for a no-nonsense pistol that just plain works, this is it. Ain't flashy, ain't fancy, but when the rest of your safe is jammed up or collecting dust, this one'll still be running. Next up is the Springfield XDM Elite OSP 10mm. And let me tell you, this thing punches way above its price tag. You're looking at a striker-fired setup with a 4.5-inch match-grade barrel, 16 plus 1 capacity, and it weighs in at about 31 ounces. It's optics ready right out of the box, and it runs Springfield's Meta trigger, one of the best stock triggers you'll find in any striker-fired pistol, period. Smooth pull, clean break, and a reset that feels just right. Recoil's more manageable than you'd think, and that match barrel helps tighten up your groups, even when you're running hotter loads. It's got an extended magwell, slide cuts for both style and weight savings, and the grip texture means business, but won't tear up your hands after a long day on the range. I've run about 600 rounds through mine, blazer range ammo, and some hot buffalo bore loads. Not a single hiccup. It eats everything, cycles clean, and makes you look better behind the sights than you probably are. Now, it ain't small. This is not your appendix carry gun, unless you're built like a wood stove and wearing a flannel in January. But for a truck gun, home defense setup, or a sidearm in bear country, it's rock solid. Price floats around $650, and that's a steal for what you're getting. You'd spend close to $900 to match these features from some other brands. If you want a feature-packed 10 mil that runs like a dream and won't clean out your wallet, the XDM Elite OSP should be high on your list. Feels like Springfield finally cracked the code with this one. Alright, sliding into number 6 is the SIG Sauer P220 Legion 10mm. This one's got old school bones with some sharp, modern upgrades. It's a double-action, single-action, hammer-fired pistol with a 5-inch barrel, 8 plus 1 capacity, and it tips the scale at a stout 44 ounces. Yeah, it's a heavy rig, but that's what makes it shine when you're running full-power 10 mil loads. That extra weight soaks up recoil like a sponge. The Legion finish is smooth and tough, and those G10 grips feel just right in the hand. The action is slick as can be, and SIG's short reset trigger system means that double action pull feels more like a warm-up than a chore. Once you're in single action, clean break, smooth as butter. Now, this ain't your everyday carry pistol. It's more of a range piece, nightstand defender, or a backwoods companion when you're moving through bear country. I ran mine on a hog hunt last fall, 2 rounds of underwood into a 200-pound boar. Dropped it without a fuss. Just a clean, hard thud. It'll run you around $1,200, and mags can be a little scarce. And sure, 8 rounds ain't gonna impress in a tactical shootout, but this pistol ain't built for that. It's about control, craftsmanship, and good old-fashioned SIG reliability. If you're the kind that still appreciates a hammer-fired sidearm and thinks lethal weapon is required viewing, the P220 Legion is right up your alley. Classy, accurate, and it hits like a sledgehammer in a 3-piece suit. Now for number 5, say howdy to the Kimber Rapide 1911 in 10mm. This one? It's straight up eye candy. You get a 5-inch barrel, single action trigger, 8 plus 1 capacity, and it weighs in around 40.25 ounces. With its slide cuts, DLC coated barrel, G10 grips, and 2-tone finish, it just flat out looks high end. And truth is, it runs like it too. The trigger? Crisp as fresh cut bacon. Short take up, clean break, zero creep. It's everything a 1911 trigger ought to be. Kimber added a ported slide and a toolless recoil spring system, making it easier to run and maintain and surprisingly manageable for a 10 mil. For a steel frame gun, it handles recoil like a champ. Now, I'll be honest, I picked mine up late one night after a couple beers. Woke up, saw the receipt, and thought, well, hope that was a good decision. Turns out, it absolutely was. It's accurate, smooth, and runs like a dream with good ammo. Wouldn't recommend feeding it steel case unless you're trying to make it mad, but run quality rounds, and it sings. Price tag's no joke, around $1,609. Yeah, you're paying for style and build quality. But if you've got a soft spot for 1911s and want something that turns heads and rings steel, the Kimber Rapide delivers. It's like if Bruce Wayne traded the Batmobile for a 10mm carry piece. Downsides? Sure, low capacity, and it ain't light. But as a range piece or barbecue gun, it's tough to beat. Show up with this on your hip, and you're not just shooting, you're making a statement. All right, coming in at number 4 is the EAA 2311 Hunter in 10mm, and this one's built to put meat on the ground. This beast of a pistol runs a 6-inch barrel, single-action, 1911 style trigger, and here's the kicker, it holds 15+1. Yep, you heard right. A double-stack 10mm 1911. It's like a race gun, met a hunting sidearm, and decided to wear a Longslide for good measure. First time I picked it up, I half thought I'd ordered a Desert Eagle by mistake, but once I sent a few rounds downrange, nothing but smiles. That 6-inch barrel helps boost velocity and takes the edge off recoil, which is real handy when you're throwing full power loads out in the backcountry. The grip's thick, no doubt, but still manageable. The flat-faced trigger has a clean, predictable break. The slide cycles like it's been greased with butter, and it's optics ready, so throw on a red dot and you're ready for the hunt or the match. I ran it on steel plates at 50 yards, and to be honest, it almost felt like cheating. It's that accurate. Price comes in around $1,028, which is a heck of a deal for a pistol that feels like it rolled out of a custom shop. It's not without a couple quirks. Mags aren't everywhere, and aftermarket parts are a bit thin, but right out of the box, it's a serious performer. If you're looking for a 10mm that can pull double duty from the woods to the range, the EAA 2311 Hunter ought to be on your radar. Coming in strong at number 3, we've got the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 10mm, and I'll tell you straight, this one just feels right in the hand. It's a striker-fired setup with a 4.6-inch barrel, a 15+1 capacity, and all the comfortable features folks already love from the M&P line. The grip angle's natural, the texture's plenty grippy, and you've got modular back straps so you can tune it to fit your mitts just how you like. Where this one really shines is in how it handles recoil. I ran SIG V-Crown and some hot Underwood loads through it, and not once did my wrist feel like it wanted to file a complaint. That aggressive grip and low-bore axis soak up the snap real well. The flat-face trigger's a big step up from older M&P's clean break, solid reset, and accuracy right out of the box. Mine came optics ready, which by 2025 is just about mandatory. Drop your favorite red dot on, and you're in business. It's priced around $650, and I'll be honest, it punches above its weight. Reliable, rugged, and simple to run, whether you're on duty, out hunting, or just putting holes in paper on a Sunday. It also looks the part. Nothing flashy, no sci-fi vibes, just a tough tactical piece of gear that's built to work. Now, it ain't perfect. The slide finish could be tougher, and the factory sights don't do much for me, but that's an easy fix with a sight swap or optic. Bottom line, if you're stepping into 10mm for the first time, or just want a pistol that runs hard without needing babying, the M&P 2.0 10mm is about as well-rounded as they come. It's the work truck of the 10mm world, reliable, capable, and not trying to show off. Number 2, Colt Delta. Elite, a straight-up legend if there ever was one. This is the 1911 that helped put the 10mm cartridge on the map way back when. What you've got here is a full-size, single-action 1911, built the old-fashioned way, 5-inch barrel, 8+1 capacity, and an all-steel frame that eats recoil like a full-grown grizzly. It's old school through and through. No bells, no whistles, and no apologies. Just cold steel, clean lines, and that buttery smooth trigger 1911 folks swear by. No optics cuts, no rails, just the essentials, done right. You get a beaver tail grip safety, skeletonized hammer, and tight slide serrations, everything where it ought to be. I carried mine this past deer season just as backup. Ended up facing down a big hog at 15 yards. One shot of full house 10mm, and that boar folded like a cheap lawn chair. That 40-ounce frame helped me get back on target fast, but truth be told, I didn't need a second round. Now, she ain't cheap. You're looking at around $1,200, And yeah, 8-round mags are all you're getting. It also won't take optics unless you're sending it off to the custom shop. But let's be honest. If you're buying a Delta Elite, you're not looking for a gadget gun. You're after a piece of history you can take to the range or into the woods. Something that feels as good in the hand as it does in the soul. For folks who value heritage, reliability, and a little steel beneath their fingers, the Colt Delta Elite more than earns its place near the top. Coming in at number 1, the Glock 29. Gen 4, the ultimate compact powerhouse in the 10mm world. This little brute packs a 3.78-inch barrel, 10+1 capacity, and crams all that into a subcompact frame, tipping the scales at just under 27 ounces. Think of it like the Glock 20's ornery little brother, shorter, meaner, and just as capable when it counts. Whether you're tucked under a jacket for concealed carry, heading into the timber where critters get big and bold, or just want a backup tucked away in the truck console, the G29's got your six. I've hauled mine up mountain trails, and I'll tell you, when something heavy snaps a twig behind you, this pistol suddenly feels like a trusted old sword. Now, don't kid yourself, it kicks hard. It's a short-barreled 10mm, and that kind of power comes with consequences. But Glock's Gen 4 grip texture does its part, and if you slap on a pinky extension or run a full-size Glock 20 mag with a sleeve, you'll get more to hang on to. And like every Glock worth its salt, it just runs. Doesn't matter if I feed it bargain bin target rounds, hot Underwood loads, or hard cast for deep woods, carry it chews through it all without a hiccup. No stovepipes, no weird jams, no surprises. You can usually find the G29 around $600, which is a steal for what you're getting. True 10mm power in a platform that actually works for everyday carry. Try finding that mix of strength and size. Anywhere else, it's a rare breed. Sure, it's got its drawbacks. Recoil will rattle your teeth if you're not ready. The sight radius is short, and it won't take an optic without some extra work. But throw on a set of tritium night sights and pair it with a good holster, and you've got yourself a serious, no-nonsense pistol for just about any job. Bottom line? If you're looking for compact muscle that hits like a freight train and won't leave you hanging, the Glock 29 Gen 4 earns its crown. There you have it, folks, some of the finest 10mm pistols out there today. Got one you think should have made the cut? Drop it in the comments and tell us what makes it stand out. Whether it's for trail duty, range time, or riding shotgun in your truck, we want to hear what's working for you.